The suspect who allegedly planted pipe bombs blocks from the U.S. Capitol on January 5th, 2021 has been identified as Brian Cole Jr. He appears to be like a black dude, 30 years old, who is apparently an anarchist and making fake bombs to mess with the DNC and the RNC on Inauguration Day. This might be racial profiling. This might be racist. I don't know. Black people just don't tend to do this stuff. This is white people stuff. Just went to DC with fake time bombs to plant at a few different places. And also on top of that, no one cared. The shoe he was wearing apparently is a shoe that is specialty. And so they were able to trace all the sneaker purchases. Part of me feels like they found a young black man that was a sneakerhead and they're trying to pin some stuff on him. Not that law enforcement would ever do that. Welcome to Loaded Talk. I am your congressman, the third most popular candidate to ever be. I am Frank, and along with me as always...
What's up, planet Earth? I'm Bean.
Bean, the Brigadier of Lejeune.
I like that.
Yeah, whatever. Lieutenant Lejeune. Get you a little helmet. All right. That's enough Bean talk. What is this? Bean podcast? All right, anyway. I guess we'll start with the breaking news, which actually kind of ties into a theme for some of the stuff for today. But the breaking news, of course, is they got him, Charlie. The suspect everybody's been concerned about, tirelessly searching for, the guy who planted the fake, non-functional time bombs by the DNC and a couple other places, RNC, and I think they tried to do one by what is it? There was something like does the Congressional Black Caucus have its own office?
I have no idea.
There was something like that. There's some third location that was maybe NAACP. I don't know. But there's something that was like some sort of black organization, governmental thing. I feel like it's Congressional Black Caucus. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, there's a third place, but they put it down and they picked it up. They go, we want to leave it here. So there was a lot of stuff that was kind of interesting as this case kind of went on. The FBI released the footage, but appear to have doctored it to degrade the quality to make it harder to analyze, according to some professional video people who looked at it and said, why would somebody do this to it? Of course, the security cameras got moved. Some of the footage when they came to okay, so this time bomb that's right by the entrance to the DNC, and soon to be sworn in Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, is inside the building, and there's two Secret Service or whatever that are parked in the driveway, and a cop comes up or whatever, like, hey man, I think there's a bomb over here. And they go, okay, we're gonna finish our sandwiches. So they sat there and they finished their sandwiches. Played a little pinochle, which I don't actually know what pinochle is. Is it a card game or a dice game?
I think it's a card game, but yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a dice game, so you could play it with the knuckles of what was it, sheep knuckles or goat knuckles? What they used to make dice out of.
I have no idea.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Some sort of knuckle. Anyway, it's not all beans and knuckles all the time. We have news to talk about, Charlie. Anyway, so yeah, the Secret Service and Vice President and bomb. And they go, all right, well, once we finish our sandwiches, we'll deal with it. More footage comes out. Ends up, they do find it. They find the bomb right where it's at. Not in danger of going off, apparently. Of course, they turn the cameras before they investigate it. Earlier in the night, we see in the footage that the person who placed the bomb started off by putting one of the shrubs kind of in this park near this bench where they were sitting. And then they came back later and they got it back. It looks like they may have broken something on it. with the zoomed in footage and all that. I wish people would stop calling me. So the cops, they go and look in the bush. So the guy puts a bomb in the bush. He moves it, and because he breaks it or whatever, he goes, I'm not gonna put it there after all. And then they go,
Broke it.
yeah, it was like a trigger or something, like shoot, I broke my. And so so even though he didn't put a bomb there, and there's no reason to suspect it, I guess, they specifically look in that bush where he placed it, even though it's gone now. But they didn't look in all the bushes. They looked in the one spot where he definitely placed it the night before, and then came back and got it later. So they check that place, and you go, well, that seems unusual. First, they seem very casual about the vice president being in the proximity of a bomb, and then after that, when they start searching, they go, let's look by that park bench where we don't know that someone put a bomb yesterday. They look, I guess that bomb's not here. It should have been here. This is where they put the bomb. I guess. I don't know how I know that. I'm just good at finding bombs. My father was a bomb sniffing dog. Mother's a real bitch, though. Anyway, so that was so there's all these kind of twists and turns with it. One of the biggest confusing parts of it was as they were going after all these grannies and people who walked around inside the Capitol on January 6th and, finally convicting them of 2 or 3 misdemeanors for such crimes as parading. There were serious parading offenses going on. And so we got them. We got the paraders, And some of them were held without bail for multiple years to be convicted of parading.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got those. We got the real criminals. But for whatever reason, like the Biden administration, whose VP looked to have been targeted by an explosive device, was just like, oh, we don't even need to look into it. The FBI was like, who cares? Everyone's like, who cares? Like, what are we even looking into? And you go, really? So, no curiosity. You're not even worried about who's planting bombs around D.C. In the lead up, like before January 6th even happened, before, like the night before or whatever. They go, no, we don't care. So you don't care that the first black Indian female vice president in the United States might have been targeted for assassination by explosive device at the DNC headquarters everywhere? They go, it's all right. It's like, we don't care. It's fine. And so it just got ignored for a while. Over on The Blaze, they were doing kind of along with their January 6th coverage that Steve Baker had been doing. He's been doing a great job. Actually, I think this was also Steve Baker. But he started working with video people that can analyze video. They're professionals. They understand the metadata and all that kind of crud. And so one of the things that they were able to do is they put all the video through like a gait detection, as in like the way you walk. And so they, even though the quality had been degraded, so they couldn't do a lot, they did a lot of detection of the gait of this individual. And then they said, hey, look, like it flagged a match. It flagged a match for a Capitol Police woman. And she used to play soccer in college. Like she was a starter. She played collegiate sports. There's a good amount of footage of her walking, running, all that kind of stuff. And they go, hey, look, bada bing, bada boom. So they go, okay. And like now she's got a job at the CIA or something like that. She had some sort of thing like that. Right.
How convenient.
Yeah, didn't we talk about this? She got some sort of bump up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so you go, well, much like the head officer of the Capitol Police who screwed everything up, didn't bring in enough staff, didn't coordinate with the National Guard, didn't do anything well, somehow got a sweet job that pays exceedingly well in Nancy Pelosi's district after failing on Nancy Pelosi's watch so badly. And you go, well, that's also interesting. So you go, okay, so maybe there's another female law enforcement officer who failed her way to success, I guess. But so that was kind of a thing that, the Steve Baker, so just an independent press guy, is pursuing. Law enforcement, maybe not so much. And so then today they have this big thing that, like, they're announcing it first thing. Maybe they said it overnight. I don't know. Like, hey, we've got the guy. We've got the bomber. Here, I'll see what old Foxy Newsy has to say about it. Plop, plop. Who is Brian Cole Jr., the D.C. pipe bomb suspect? So the suspect who allegedly planted pipe bombs blocks from the U.S. Capitol on January 5th, 2021 has been identified as Brian Cole Jr. of Woodbridge, Virginia, according to two sources. He is 30 and is in FBI custody following roughly 5 years of investigation. Horse pucky, no way they were looking into it for 5 years. He's charged with the use of explosive device that didn't seem to be able to be smelled by bomb-sniffing dogs. So whatever that means. This Fox got all these hoes on the side. Anyway, arrested. Authorities have not released further details. FBI is carrying out court-enforced activity at Cole's residence. Cole's step-grandfather. I said he spoke to him, but who cares? And whatever. So then they just talk a bunch of smack about the Biden administration, which makes sense. But anyway, look, that's a house. Pretty nice house. I saw, let's see, they discovered pipe bombs. Who cares? This doesn't tell us anything, really. Anyway, so they raided this guy's place. I saw some other people doing some looky-uppy, that I guess he and his family have a bail bonds company that does well. I think it's maybe his dad's company or something. But he might, I think they say he makes something like 4 bills a year. So $400,000 a year, which is pretty darn good, family business. I guess when you're near DC, lots of people getting arrested. So, make some money. So they say he's an anarchist. They say he's an anarchist, who runs a bail bonds company, which, whatever. You can have your political views and stack your cash, stack your cheddar. What I've seen online appears... Now, the danger here, of course, is that people are speculating because they're Twitter investigators. All of this could be wrong, but if he is the bail bonds guy, so, the house is nice, so the $400,000 a year might be accurate, but if he is the dude whose family's in the bail bonds business, he appears to be like a black dude, 30 years old, who's apparently an anarchist and making fake bombs to mess with the DNC and the RNC on Inauguration Day. This might be racial profiling. This might be racist. I don't know. Black people just don't tend to do this stuff. This is white people stuff. Like, remember when the DC sniper was going around, and when they called him, everyone's like, holy cow, it's a black guy? It just didn't make sense. It's white people stuff, like random shooting out of the back of a truck in a metropolitan area. It's probably why he got away with it so long. There's not one person I was thinking anything other than a white guy, But anyway, so this just... I'm not saying, obviously, someone's incapable of it because of their skin color, but I guess just a man making a good salary, perhaps with a family, I don't know for sure, but a man making a nice salary in family business.
At 30.
At 30.
He's doing that young.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's 30 now, right? So that was, when was it, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So 25? Yeah, 25 makes more sense because you're more stupid at 25. Still, though, it just, and like maybe but that house is nice. Like, he's probably been making it for a minute. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
These are the things the FBI is saying, or should be saying, as an investigator.
Yeah. Well, they probably couldn't come out and go, listen, everybody, The blacks don't typically do this stuff. We got to find some whiteys. Quote FBI. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so that's something that just kind of, you go, huh, okay. A steady job, young black dude, just went to DC with fake time bombs to plant a couple different a few different places, and also on top of that, no one cared.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. You go, well, okay, like it is racist to say it couldn't be a black guy. Like, that is racist. It is, it's stupid. Like, it could be. Okay, that's true. But at the end of the day, no one cared. So he has a bail bonds company. There's no connection to anybody. No connection to anybody at all. He just has a penchant for anarchy. And when they say anarchy, I don't even know what they mean by that. Do they mean actual, like, lack of government? Like, he's opposed to government? Or do they mean he is a fan of chaos? Because they tend to use the word anarchy and anarchist to mean chaos agent more than they do to mean, a political philosophy that requires no government. Lots of voluntary interactions. Yeah, we are popular today. We popping. So, I don't know. We'll see. I wonder, I'd love to see that guy who did the gate analysis that flagged it to that chick do some sort of gate analysis with that guy. Old, what's his name? Cole? What's his name? Cole, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how a white chick turns into a black dude.
Well, today it's actually kind of easy. You just declare it. You just declare it. I guess, when you look at some of these pictures, though, not that you can't wear binding or anything, but, like, doesn't look like there's a rack there, But one can wear binding, and it is a hoodie. There is padding, but, like, and I guess if you're disguising yourself anyway, if you wore your bulletproof vest or something, that would pretty much get rid of some curves. But I remember in some footage looking at stuff thinking, like, yeah, that person might be petite. Like when there was a clip of them, like, kind of jogging down the street or whatever. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe that person, like, looking at them compared to a car driving by or something, I was like, okay, maybe it could be that chick. Sydney Sweeney transformed into sexy dragon for Friendsgiving party celebration with friends. Big news, Fox. Big news. All right. So I don't know. What would you like to say on this matter, Charlie?
It's just another inconsistent backstory. I mean, it's a distraction, and then it has distractions within it, and it's like, I don't know.
It did come out of the blue, right?
Yeah,
like
it's random.
Because it's like, like the Steve Baker and the Blaze and stuff. They've been looking at it, and they've been giving their data over to FBI and that kind of stuff, trying to get something going. And then suddenly they just go, hey, we found him. And go, and they said they found him because of his shoe purchases, which that's going to be because he was wearing Nike Air Max, the shoe he was wearing apparently is a shoe that is specialty. Okay. So, like, one might, it's limited edition. You're probably a sneakerhead type person to get it, is the way I understand it to be. And so they were able to trace all the sneaker purchases. But part of me feels like they found a young black man that was a sneakerhead, and they're trying to pin some stuff on him. Not that law enforcement would ever do that. No. They wouldn't do that kind of thing. He's sitting there like, you think I did what to who? When? Like, no. I hope he's got an alibi. Like, for multiple reasons. One, I don't know. I guess I just don't. I'm skeptical. I guess I should say I'm skeptical. So it would be fun, and not like one of those alibis. Oh, I was with my brother, and he goes, "Yep," and you got any receipts or anything? Like, we were watching movies all day inside my house. Okay. So I hope he's got something, something. Just because this, either I hope they have something, either I hope this guy can prove he was not anywhere near DC. Like maybe he was in Miami, I don't know why Miami. People like Miami. But maybe he's there. Or if they don't have that, I hope that they show us something conclusive. Just give us anything conclusive, Like, here's him hopping into a car that then drove to here, and then we flagged it here. Like, give us anything. Because if it's just, this dude bought some sneaks, and he lives in the region, I don't know, man. I don't know. You need something more than that.
Like an accidental hoodie drop, like the hood drops off, Because sometimes hoodies get annoying and you quickly ruffle your hair and put it back up.
Yeah, just literally anything. And that's the other part too, is in some of the footage before, a cop or a car rolls up and the person, it looks like they kind of talk to the car and the car moves on. And it was in one of the earlier things, you go, were they just talking? I think they were just talking there. And maybe even a wave at a cop. Maybe that was it. There was a wave at a cop car or something like that. There's something like that where you go, all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. If, I think if you're up to no good and you're on the sidewalk with your mask and your hood up and stuff like that, a good way to look less suspicious is to kind of, howdy, officer, that all, once again, if you're up to no good, that just seems also like a white person thing to do. Is just go, hey, howdy, officer. And I'm not up to anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm going too racial in this whole thing. It's just seeming like white people shit this whole time. And so I'm having issues. Charlie. Also, another lone gunman with no connections to any agency whatsoever. And you go, okay. So he had no connections. How do those cops know where to look for the bombs? And obviously it's not a bomb because the bomb sniffing dogs just missed them because they did patrol while they were there. Also, the bomb wasn't hidden very well, and it's right by the entrance, and a million people walked past it. And also, when they did tell Secret Service, hey, there's a bomb over there, they were like, cool, we'll get to it when we get to it. I mean, these things, this is all nonsense. And and what, was there no footage at the RNC? Is that what we're dealing with? Maybe there wasn't. Maybe that's the mess up on this one. They didn't realize there's cameras across the street or something until too late. But I don't know. It doesn't feel, it feels odd. They're just here it is, all wrapped up for you. You go, okay. Thanks. Somebody on Twitter was like, oh, look at, these people, they're donated to the Democrats. These are obviously a left-wing wacko. You go, okay, well, and then they left a bomb at 2 different Democrat things. And then, okay, so you go, obviously, a lot of people were hoping that the Trump rally went like it did. The Stop the Steal or whatever it was called. Everyone, a lot of people were hoping that it would go off the rails so that Trump and all of his supporters could be labeled as loonies and hateful and everything else. And basically you could get, a solid 4+ years where you can kind of get away with, well, we saw what happened. That's what they wanted. They got what they wanted. And so, maybe somebody was like, all right, maybe I'm going to plant a couple things so that they blame it on all the Trump people and that'll be good. But once again, the big problem is just how come Secret Service didn't care?
Italian sandwich, man. It's delicious.
I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe Danny DeVito was in the back. It's you finish your sandwich.
Gets the hose again.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I know I'm saying the same thing, but to look in that bush too is the other thing. You go okay, so you knew it was supposed to be in this bush, and it was right over there, and everyone knew it wasn't a problem. It wasn't dangerous, or they just really don't like Kamala Harris, and they go, well, she dies. We'll just see what happens. So I don't know, just none of it makes sense. That it's just someone totally disconnected. The chick cop makes more sense, and if not her, it makes much more sense for it to be someone related to Capitol Police, because they're the least like law enforcement. They're mall security guards that are cops, and this is the first time they ever had to do anything hard in their life, But when you consider their boss is the speaker and the Senate president, which at that time was Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, the paralyzed turtle, DC uniparty sludge that's their boss. That's who they answer to. And if you happen to live in DC, there's like an 89% chance that you vote Democrat. So you take those into account and you go, hey, we want a backup plan. So just in case this thing stays peaceful, we need to be able to go, holy cow, they planted a bomb at the DNC and they tried to get Kamala Harris. But then they just never had to use that one. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like Metropolitan Police put it there, try to be sneaky about it, try to cover it up by moving the cameras and stuff. They found it, oh my God. And then you go, oh, this is huge news, a bomb by the vice president. And they go, it's not. And we don't need to investigate. And it's all fine. So I don't know. All these things just point to this Cole guy. I don't know. He ain't it. Got anything else on it?
I completely agree.
Of course. I'm always right, Charlie.
No, it's just like, we don't need this because they went in. They went inside the Capitol. We're all good. They went in.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We held the door, but they went in.
Yeah, it was fine. We shot them in the face and threw bombs at them until they finally decided to go in. We got some dude stealing a podium. It's great. The optics are perfect. Just pick up these bombs and let's go home. Out of everything that politicians make hay about, right? Any opportunity to be a victim, oh my God, and to be a victim and to name your political opponent as a villain, they all take it. They all take it. The Democrats, perhaps especially so. And for them to be handed this gift of a bomb by Kamala Harris while she's there on Inauguration Day, and just to let it go with nothing, it's like, no, impossible. And then they get into office. So you have the vice president, a former prosecutor, attorney general for the state of California. And so, she's, she cut her teeth on putting bad guys in jail. And it's like, you mean bad guys that put bombs by the vice president's office? Maybe you should go after that person. They go, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. We have people parading. So this thing, I don't know. I need to see more. On that note, I feel like needing to see more kind of shows, and I don't think we're the only ones in this boat. When Trump was running for election this time around, right? At first, it was smooth sailing, it was Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. So Sleepy Joe was in fact sleepy, and he couldn't speak. And it's one of those things when you're the Trump campaign, I'm sure you are feeling great, It's just like, he's gonna poop his pants on stage, It's a Sleepy Joe. But then, became a race. And so this coalition was built. That was kind of interesting. You got RFK Jr. came over with a Maha thing. Where he was like, look, we can agree on making America healthy again. Let's work on ending this kind of corrupt FDA, USDA thing and all that. And so there was a lot of crunchies out there who've followed RFK for a while. Who were supporting his campaign. Okay, if RFK Jr. is going to be part of the cabinet, I'll vote for Trump. So you got the crunchies in there. And the crunchies are an interesting lot because they tend to be, more libertarian in that they don't want laws dictating how they live their life, But I think historically speaking, they tend to vote like Green Party or Democrat. You know, if they're going to pragmatic, don't waste your vote type people. So you got those cats over. Trump went to the Libertarian convention, and he said, I'll put a Libertarian in my cabinet. Of course, RFK had just bought the lifetime membership, so he goes, it's RFK, surprise. Not a real one. And so, but he made his appeal. He goes, we're just going to be so libertarian, you won't even believe it, you know? No more foreign wars, or yes! And so people who were opposed to this constant war for constant soldiers, the funding of wars in other countries. He said we should end all this stuff. And so a lot of people jumped on about that. They go, yes, we should stop funding this kind of stuff. So you had sort of some libertarians, some peaceniks, some crunchies, all kind of coming together. The young man vote went particularly well for Donald Trump, college-age guys and just, young 20-somethings. Like the dude contingent came out. People might blame that on the podcast. You know, the podcast bros had them on, Flagrant and Rogan, and I always blank on his damn name. What's his with the mullet? Theo, yeah, Theo. I don't know why. There's certain things that just live in a little black hole in my brain, and every time I try to get there, I go, I don't know. It's somewhere, but like I know it's in there. I just can't get to it. But yeah, Theo Von and all that, which that was the best interview ever.
Seriously.
Yeah. Oh man, doing cocaine make you like an owl. Anyway, so you have this big group of people, right? It's falling apart. Like he's got, thanks to Thanksgiving, it is clear that he still has the Fox News audience. Charlie, what's the median? And for people that don't remember the math, so average is average. Add it all up, divide by the total thing. Median means half of the people are on one side, the other half are on the other side. So median age of viewers, meaning half the viewers are younger than this age, but half are older than this age. Okay?
Okay.
Median age Fox News viewership.
Oh, like currently?
Yeah, like now.
55?
68.
Wow.
Yeah, it's only old people.
I thought 55 was high.
55 is high. 55 is high. Like, you are not reaching the target demo at 68. And I think all of them are like that. Or maybe they're the worst because they have the most people watching, but it's all the olds.
They're asleep by 6.
Hey, listen. My dad likes a nice nap around 5, and he gets back up, and he's got murder to watch.
Might as well just cut all your programming at 6 p.m.
Just put on that little Indian head with the... But anyway, so the Trump's got the Fox News people, the boomers. He's got the boomers, the right wing boomers.
No.
Yes, and they are all of the things he does is they're either smart or they're 4D chess. You know, it's always he's got a grand strategy, and it's really brilliant when you think about it. The rest of it is falling apart. Young men, that group, that kind of 20-something, you know, some of them are heading over to, the old gay Hispanic white supremacist Nick Fuentes. At some point, I'm going to listen to something he says, find out if he is actually... Because I don't know if he's actually white supremacist or if that's just what the news people call him, but they call everybody. But he does seem fairly anti-Semitic. I think he's openly racist. Maybe he said he is racist. And he is openly anti-Semitic.
He admitted it?
Yeah. I think he was just like, yeah, I'm racist and I'm anti-Semitic. And you go, all right. So, I don't know.
We don't have to make it up anymore, I guess.
I also think that this dude's a plant. I don't think he's legitimate. Like, suddenly I get my Alex Jones hat on. It's like, he came in from nowhere. He came from freaking nowhere, man. And suddenly this popular CIA plant.
Look at the frogs.
Frogs. Turn the frogs gay. 2 frogs mated. Nick Fuentes was the baby. Gay Nazis. Anyway,
God, I love these times, man. These times are great.
it is times. Well, like Nick Fuentes has grown a lot with young men, and a big part of it is he is very opposed to what we have going on with Israel. He's got other thoughts. A lot of his stuff is very collectivist, very, well, I guess the Nazis were collectivists. But anyway, it's more big government. It's just weird that it gets lumped in with kind of like right-wing stuff. Because it seems like a lot of the stuff he's a fan of are closer to Democrat policies, which I don't totally understand. But like I said, I haven't really listened to him. His voice irritates me too, and his little face, it irritates me. Though he does kind of look like a young Ben Shapiro, which is kind of funny since they hate each other. They should fight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Great ideas on this show.
Yeah. It would be so sad. That's so great. Maybe they could dress like gnomes, you know? Tights, hat.
For the fight?
Yeah, for the fight. I don't know. No shirt, tights, gnome hats.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah. We need a sponsor. Kalshi is sponsored. All right. Anyway, what the hell am I saying? Okay, so Trump's coalition's falling apart. The young men, a lot of them have flocked to Fuentes or whatever. But a big thing is a lot of the young men, they were coming over because they're like, no more foreign wars, no more paying for foreign wars. Yes, I agree with that. Let's not do that. And Trump's kind of been like, well, we're still going to do foreign wars. And it's like, we stopped all these wars. Like, cool. It's like, and you haven't attacked anybody. It's like, we've attacked a few people. We attacked Iran, and that could have turned into World War III, but it didn't. You go, okay. They go, also, we're going to go to war with Venezuela. You go, Venezuela? Why? It's like, they're attacking us with fentanyl. With fentanyl? Are they major players in the fentanyl trade? Well, no. They sell cocaine. Right. But so anyway, we're, the peace president has bombed Iran, has been supporting Israel throughout this whole thing they've been doing with Palestine, with Gaza, with whatever. But, Ukraine, Russia has not ended, and now we're picking a fight in Venezuela. So this group, especially over the Israel part of it, is kind of falling around. Like, all right, well, that's not what I wanted. The Maha thing, I guess, is still going. RFK Jr. still kind of doing whatever he's doing, and that seems to be going fine. But one of the other big things was getting spending in order. Doge. Doge was a huge thing. Doge is going to cut $1 trillion or something. And, I remember when that was the goal and being like, well, we actually need to cut like 2.5. But a cut's a cut, and I'm happy. Doge ended up cutting, I don't know, 100 billion or something. More than nothing. And he shut down, did shut down a lot of weird NGO activity, which I think we'll learn more and more about. So it wasn't for nothing, but it's not as it was advertised. It was not as advertised. It was like, because remember, Doge was going to be there until July of next year, because that would be the 250th birthday. They were going to come out and be like, look at all these cuts we did. Look how great it is. And instead, it was like, we did some things up front and fizzle. And now it's just been, they go, well, Doge is basically functioning within each department now, so we don't need a separate department. You go, fine, whatever. So that's falling apart. Epstein files, of course, that was a big thing. I'll release the Epstein files. It's a hoax. The whole thing's a hoax. It's like, which part exactly? The thing that happened to the girls? The money laundering part? Which part is the hoax? Because didn't you throw him out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep? Did you, according to Mike Johnson, were you not informing the FBI of his bad actions because he was a creep? Like, what's the hoax here? Because in one way, sounds like you were a hero. You like being a hero, but you're saying it's a hoax. So I guess you're not a hero. And Epstein was fine. Like, I don't, So like, people are falling back, like, okay. So they don't trust. So, and then Cash and Bongino all talk about Epstein, all talk about this, that, and the other, JFK. And, they get in there and it's just same old crap. They're giving us a little more chit chat on, oh, yeah, no, we're cleaning things up. And this is all we're finding right now. We're cleaning stuff up. I promise this is all we're finding. And just nothing.
Stats.
Just random things here and there. You go, okay, cool. Like, I guess. So, like, people are kind of fed up with that, and people aren't trusting Kash Patel and his kidnapped self. Like, he's being held against his will, and maybe by his lady. But people don't trust. Like, it's perhaps people on the right aren't as distrusting as they were under the Biden administration, where they were like, hey, they're going to maybe try and put us in jail for our political or religious beliefs. So maybe it's not like that anymore, but they sure don't trust that they're not just stooges covering up crap. They just, and everyone just, the level of ass kissing is too much. It's too much. Like, I understand Trump likes praise. You want to praise him, make sure things keep moving in a good direction for your career. It's too much. It looks ridiculous. For this, I'm willing to concede to all Fox boomers, like, he's doing a great job. I'll just say, like, we'll just use that assumption, right? He's doing a great job. He looks ridiculous with people kissing his ass this much, regardless of him doing a great job. Reality, I have some criticisms, but just for the sake of argument, even if everything he's done has been perfect, there's just way too much ass kissing. And it looks ridiculous. He's not, he has not cut spending. This whole government shutdown was because they wanted to continue the Biden era spending that he vowed to cut because it's so bad for our economy, so bad for our dollar. And the Democrats said, no, we won't cut that. In fact, we need to spend all the Biden money, and we need to spend more in subsidies for the Affordable Care Act because it's unaffordable. You go, well, that's interesting. But just people, a lot, it's just, he doesn't have, he let his coalition fall to crap. He's going after people like Massey, who are literally trying to pass one subject bills for all the stuff he ran on. He's calling him a traitor. Marjorie Taylor Greene, traitor. Just left and right. He seems, he doesn't seem to believe. He changes his mind frequently, I will say. Like, this is something I, by God, believe in. And then, it's not so important anymore. Or, that's not important. You go, oh, it is important. There's a couple things he's done with Bitcoin and stuff like that. That was interesting. Clearly, a lot of that was just designed for his boys to get very wealthy on tokens. And they did. So, great, But so this is something he posted on November 28th. And my brother-in-law was surprised because he was under the impression that Trump was actually not a fan of this. Here it is. Great American presidents, this graphic posted on Truth Social by Donald Trump says. The two great American presidents listed here are Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the guy who did 4 terms and dragged the Great Depression on forever with his make-work projects and his just reckless spending, and President Trump. Roosevelt helped give us the 30-year mortgage, I guess. And so Trump has on there the 50-year mortgage. So this is one of these 4D chess things I'm telling you about, where it's, you go, hey, Trump is comparing himself to FDR. He was a commie. You go, well, Trump is saying he was a great president, and he was great just like him. Oh, what strategy? You got to get the young voters who like socialism. Like, okay, for Trump, like, well, no, for Vance Rubio. You go, I just don't think that 3 years ahead of the election is going to, this 50. So anyway, regardless of that, let's talk about this 50-year mortgage. So instead of taking any actions to actually make things affordable again, they go, if you stretch out your loan for 50 years, it makes it cheaper. Okay. So the average home, you end up saving like a couple of $100 a month, like $300 a month, something like that. The average home these days is like $400 and something thousand. I made this whole spreadsheet where I was looking at the average home price, car price, grocery price, adjusting for today's dollars, 1980 and all that kind of stuff. And it's shockingly not crazy. Well, 2025 versus 2020 is much more out of whack. Like the amount of change over the last 5 years has been substantial in terms of kind of screwing everything, But yeah, so 50-year mortgage. And not just is it a 50-year mortgage, but they're proposing that perhaps you could even have it where the first 10 years is interest only. What's wrong, Charlie?
It's so terrible.
Why is that terrible, Charlie?
Because you'll never, ever pay it off unless you win the lottery or somebody dies in your family and leaves you a bunch of money.
Yeah. I was told, well, everyone's going to refinance in the first 5 years because no one's that stupid. And I said, well, what about 2008 when everybody was surely going to refinance before their bubble payment, before, their rates got jacked up by 10 points. Everybody was going to refinance. Charlie, did a lot of people refinance in 2008?
No.
I remember everything going to hell, don't you?
Yep.
No one's going to do stuff. People are going to settle in and they're just going to go. So, but here's the thing, right? All right, so Trump's got his 50-year mortgage. He wants to. He's working on getting that passed, right?
There is a goal, but it's just not what everyone thinks it is.
What's that?
Oh, the goal of the 50-year mortgage? It's just to make things attainable, not affordable.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which way do we want to go first? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. But here's the thing too. So I was told the reason it's so smart is because demand for housing will go up, and then people will build more housing, and then you'll have more supply, and then price will go down because you'll have supply increase, and that'll help with demand.
Sure.
Yeah. What it's like, do you know what else increased the demand for housing? Like 0% interest rates and first-time homebuyer programs with 0 down, low credit scores. And, that was before 2008 as well. But that increased demand a whole lot, increased homeownership rates a whole lot until they went bankrupt. And I don't remember housing, well, I guess after the disaster, housing prices went down. But prices have been on the rise. It has not been going down, regardless of how many houses are built. And in Florida, if you go out to Orlando, when's the last time you went to Orlando?
It's been a year at least, 2 maybe.
Have you gone past the parks into the east side, like near UCF?
No.
You won't recognize. If you take one of those like 408, 417s or whatever, the areas that used to be just empty are now just
McMansions.
No, well, subdivisions and apartment complexes, and it's just houses just printed everywhere. Values not going down. So basically, what's most likely if you do increase demand a lot, which really shaving $300 a month off a payment, $400 a month, that ain't gonna do it. I mean, that's not gonna do it. But let's just say it does. It's like, okay, well, prices go up. And so I guess the idea is that builders are going to go, okay, I'm going to build 20 houses here. And then I guess I'll sell them for less than the current market rate because the supply has gone up. You go, yeah, I guess, but you probably won't. You'll probably list them at the current market rate. One at a time, maybe. Like it's just that people They're not gonna. They're not. The people are gonna spend money to negatively affect the asset value, especially with how expensive construction is. Because that's the other thing. Construction is crazy expensive to build a house right now. So it's like, okay, no one's going to do it, and knowing they're going to take a haircut. They're just not going to do it. It's just not going to work that way. So you're right. It's not going to make anything more affordable. It's going to make the prices go up. Further, especially the interest-only thing, remember what the right used to be. So back when the Republicans were like opposed to like ending the filibuster way back then, like in the ancient times, which of course are for now, but they were also opposed to the World Economic Forum. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Remember? Mm-hmm. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. If you have a house, interest-only loan for 10 years, people stay in their houses on average 13 years, okay? If you sell your house off for 13 years and you had an interest only for the first 10, got a lot of equity there, Charlie?
None.
Now, theoretically, your house has appreciated unless this grand plan works out and the prices drop, because this is the problem with this thought thing. You go, well, appreciation's where you get your value. You go, okay, but if you're saying people are going to build houses so the value won't go up like that, so it won't appreciate. So I'm not getting equity and I'm not getting appreciation. So, okay, well, then I get nothing, right? But even if you get a little appreciation there, right? Your loan, especially paying interest only first, like you've got so much money you owe on this thing. It'll be shocking it'll be one of those things where people aren't covering, they're not paying off their mortgage when they sell their house. They're just rolling in the extra 20 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is, this number that's left over, rolling it into their next 50-year mortgage, and then doing that, just rolling it and rolling it. And it's one of those, it's football math where they go, I never intend on paying this, and I don't see how anything could go wrong with our already fragile banking system if all of a sudden a bunch of people just keep rolling over a note into a bigger and a bigger with no intention of paying it and eventually go, whatever. I declare bankruptcy!
This sounds familiar. I think it's done with car loans right now.
What? Yeah. I mean, because that was the thing, too. Like, how long? Can you get like an 8-year or something now?
I think that might be one of his other pushes. 7 is, I know, the norm longest.
7 is the norm now.
Like, I think
the longest.
I think 8 might be a push right now, but
Okay.
I'm not sure. It's crazy.
Yeah. I remember on my truck there, I got the 4-year. And I'm not going to lie, if they had longer, I probably would have gotten longer because trucks are expensive. It's all these cars are basically being sold at cost, and the idea is they're selling a car loan. Like I maintain that car companies don't make any money on cars; they make it on the loans.
Yep.
Which is crazy to think. But
the other thing that kind of ties into this is that he also wants you to be able to, or for the banks to consider cryptocurrency as an asset when applying for a mortgage.
Yeah.
So it's all about attainability. It's not about affordability.
Right. And I did see a couple things on the different plan. And did you know you can get somewhat short term crypto loans now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's like 80%, 70% of your portfolio value. Of course, if it dips, they can call you and all that kind of stuff. But I think you can get like a couple of years, 2 to 4 years, something like that. You can't get mortgage length, but you can get something, which is interesting. So anyway, I wanted to see a little bit because I had my opinions on this note, and so I got.
I like that.
And so I was like, well, maybe I'm just being grumpy, right? Maybe it is sound advice. So I went to UBS Wealth Management, not CNN, not Fox. UBS Wealth Management. Here's this little thing. Okay. So currently can't go above 30 years. Our initial conclusion is that an addition of a 50-year mortgage option would have a marginal benefits to home buyers, and those benefits are largely a function of the rate spread calculus. Based on our analysis, moving from a 30 to a 50-year mortgage would lead only to a small reduction in monthly payment, depending on the ultimate 30 to 50-year spread. One of the key drawbacks for buyers who utilize a 50-year mortgage is the amount of interest they would pay, assuming the loan stays outstanding for the full term. As a percentage of total home price, a 50-year mortgage results in total interest pay being 225% of the total home price. So if your house costs $200, that's 200, that's 400, and that's what I just say, $200,000. So yeah, 200 to 450. Something like that, right? 450
for
in interest.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so you pay $650 for your house. You pay 3.5 times, or three and a quarter. Another key drawback of the 50 is that's more than twice the level what you do for the 30-year. So people, there's a lot of interest. It's like, yeah, it looks like it's normally around 100%. Normally you pay for your house twice. Now you'll be paying it for 3.25 times. Another key drawback of a 50-year mortgage is how little equity beyond the initial down payment is generated, even in the first 20 years of the mortgage. With a 50-year mortgage, only 4% of the mortgage is paid off 10 years in, and only 11% is retired after 20 years. Most people keep a house for like 13 years. So you got your 4% of your mortgage paid off, and and then a chunk. Call it, let's just say 6. I'll give you 6. 6% of your mortgage paid off by the time you sell it. So you really, let's say your house gets hit by a hurricane and you have to do remediation, and you go, I can't afford to put $200,000 into making this house worthwhile again. I guess I'll sell it. Well, if you got a 50-year mortgage and you're selling it at a hit of $100,000 or something, just because, well, I guess with that you go, I don't even know. I got no options. So basically, I'm going to have to just keep $100,000 of a loan that I keep paying on, not have a house, because I can't afford to rebuild. And that's all I can do. And with a 50-year note, I don't have any equity. So and that's the other part, right? Which people are kind of, maybe it's a minor thing. Here, let me just see if there's anything. Mortgage report, who cares? All right. To not delve too much into my personal finances, but we did some work around the house last year, yeah? So we took out a little home equity line, which normal thing to do. People do it. It's a tool. It's nice. You got a little equity. Pull it out, get some of that sweet cash, and then fix up the house. You can't do that 10 years in. I mean, if 10 years in, you got 4% of your mortgage paid off, you got you can't get a home equity loan. You have no equity still. So you go, well, I don't know, my pipes burst. It's going to cost me $20,000 to fix it. They go, yeah, you can take a loan, but it ain't going to be one based on your equity. You don't have it, So that'll be another thing. It'll just be people not have use of their asset.
Yep.
So, Charlie, who benefits?
Are we thinking the same thing right now?
I don't think so. I think you're about to go in a different direction.
Okay.
But I was going to say banks.
I was going to say insurance companies.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were going to go after...
Well, that too. But,
yeah, that sparkle in your eye. That's
the eye of the...
It's like, well, we're never getting a paid trip to Tel Aviv. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, insurance companies too. Yeah, they will do well. But yeah, the bank, banks and insurance companies, but the banks, obviously, if you're going to pay more than twice the interest you would have otherwise, the loan is much more profitable. People go bankrupt, and they've been paying a lot towards you, but you go, okay, I got this house free and clear, auction it off, and do it again. But beyond just the banks issuing the mortgages, I think this will be used, as most things are, for developers and speculators and stuff, because say you are the type of guy that's going to refinance in X number of years, and you're going to be aggressive, you're going to cross collateralize and all that kind of stuff. You go, all right, give me the 50-year note. Give me the 50-year note, make it $400 cheaper. I'll just cash flow it. like, maybe you go, whatever, I'll just cash flow it. It's fine. I'll pay the extra interest. But in reality, you probably get in cheap, and maybe you try and sell it within 3 years, 5 years. Which, if you're going in, buying a house, selling it within 3 to 5 years for gain, that also causes prices to go up. And the more you have businesses that are buying up the houses for rental properties and all that kind of stuff, prices go up. All of this makes prices go up. So it's one of these things, you hear about it and you go, that's so stupid. That's a horrible idea. And, there's people you talk to that you would say, no one should get this. It's stupid. You go, right. They go, but it's good Trump's doing it. And you go, I don't know how we got there. It's a stupid thing that's not good for people. And it's good he's doing it because it's going to build more houses and make housing more affordable. But all the pricing is going up, and we're still spending at levels that are devaluing our dollar like crazy. Our dollar is like, it's so bad. I was looking. There is an employee who, between 2021 and now, I did a little like time value of the dollar, spending power of the dollar, and he lost something crazy like 20% of his value, since this higher date. And you go, I don't even like how. And that 2021, not even 5 years. You're talking about 20% loss in value. They just took that money from us with their spending. They're borrowing the spending. They just took it from us. And it's not coming back. It's never coming back unless they stop spending. They have to stop spending, but they're not even talking about it. Doge found some inefficiencies. Cool. Cool. They shut down some NGOs. Great. Anything to stick it to the CIA, I guess. But like, what is that? Like, really, how does that help the working class? And that's the thing. Working class came out huge for Trump. And he talked about all of his protectionist stuff with the unions and all that. And don't get me wrong, he's been getting these people who say they're going to come in and build a factory of this type here, build this kind of factory here. He just relaxed the requirements on fuel efficiency for automakers, which that could lower the cost of cars. They said on average it's going to lower it by like $3,000 or something like that. But maybe that's just average. Either way, that should be helpful. So we'll see if any of these factories come to be. People could make a lot of promises on year one, knowing you're only there for 4 years. You buy the land and you kind of scratch the dirt a little bit. You hire the architects, but you go, look, we're never going to build this. Like, I can spend, if we drop $50,000 up front in planning, while we get a good year with the president, we'll do good. And then after he's gone, it's just not feasible, actually. It's just not. And you even blame it on the next president. Like, whether it's Vance or whether it's a Democrat, you go, under President Trump, this looks like we really could do it. But, this environment's changed. We just can't do it without him. And he go, yeah, that's right. I talked him into it. They would have done it, but, only works with me. I'm the best. And so, like, I don't know. We'll see if any of this stuff comes to be. But, like, if we can't afford food and cars and houses, like, the more that normal people get their money straight stolen from them for trying to, like, save. If you imagine 2021, imagine you just saved $50,000 or whatever. And you go, wait, what? Like, I've lost, that's only worth $40,000? But I've had it in savings. It goes, yeah, not worth so much. Sorry. Gosh, damn it. Probably should put, if you have cash, precious metals is pretty nice. They're very liquid too. For what it's worth. But I don't know. So I think this coalition's falling apart now. I think a big part is that Trump is just pivoting constantly. I don't know if he's appealing to all these wealthy people that are like pouring money into his presidential library and kissing his ass. The tech people, like all the people who are like, Like, we're turning the corner. It's a new day. Like, we like what Trump's doing for America and all that. Like, and just kissing the ring. Like, I don't know if it's because of that. I don't know if they don't have any good ideas. This Trump account thing. Did you hear about this? So kids born in whatever it is, 26 through 28 or whatever, they're going to get a couple grand in an account. They can't touch it till they're 18. It's going to be invested, I guess, just in the NASDAQ or something like that. It's going to be a fun, peg to the market. And so the idea is that when these kids become adults, they're like, holy cow, look at how much this money is made for you, And you go, that's well and good. We don't have any money. Where are you getting $2,000 a head from? We don't have it. We don't have any money. And you're going, oh, we're going to give the money for free. And it's one of those things you go, if this is a replace, if you want to say we're going to get rid of Social Security, and instead of Social Security, we're going to have $2,000 put into an account as soon as you're born in America, and then congratulations, by the time you're 18, you got a portfolio, and we suggest you just keep it in there and let it ride. I go, okay, perfect. Cut Social Security, though. Like, cut that expense out. Because, like, the unfunded liabilities were suffocating on them. And $2,000 a head is much cheaper. It's much cheaper. You can't, that's the third rail. You can't talk about it and all that kind of stuff. But, like, they're not talking about it. They're just talking about spending. And, they go, oh, it's just going to be for kids in these years. Like, oh, yeah, so a kid born in 2029, you're going to go, like, now you don't get the free money anymore?
That's it.
Yeah, they're going, no, we'll extend it. We'll extend it. And the Democrats will extend it. And they go, well, that's not enough. There needs to be $3,000 a kid. And they go, oh, okay. And then that'll get extended at some point. They go, we're not even giving these children enough. $5,000 a head. Like, it's just going to go forever. And we don't have any money. We don't have it, Charlie.
It is. I've read a little bit about it. It is being described as a adolescent's 401k.
Yeah.
Limit, you can contribute. Somebody can contribute, whether the parent actually wants to do it or not, up to $5,000 a year, I think.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
And the Dell family is kicking it off.
I saw that. I'm fine with the Dell family wanting to set up accounts for people because they're rich. Like, start a foundation. Now, if no money's going to come out of tax dollars, cool. Have your Trump account. That poor Dell woman. Did you see? Mm-hmm. She was trending on internet, and I was like, what are they saying about this poor woman? But oh my goodness, she needs to get the Kris Kardashian doctor number. She needs a new head. Like, Kris Kardashian's new head's good. She needs that head or a different head. Now they can make more than one face, which is nice. They only had the one face to sell, but I think Kris Kardashian put it all together. Now they got more faces you can get, and she should just think about it. It's one of those, it's not nice to talk about, but like the pictures of her from 20 years ago, like, what a good looking woman. And then you go, ow, like that's the reaction when I open the photos. Oh God. And it's which is not what you're going for. It's okay to take a mulligan on what happened, but you gotta call Kris Kardashian and you can get one of those heads. That seems like a good place to wrap up on the week. Make sure you like and follow us, subscribe, and hit the alert bell and all that kind of stuff on the YouTubes and the Rumbles and the Spotifys and the everything else. We're on the Apples. We're on all the things, Charlie. You can find us everywhere. Video, of course, available on the Rumbles, YouTubes, and Spotifys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. That's how we are number one podcast in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Number one featuring me. All right. What do you got for the people?
Let's see, the Grok factoid of the day. Did you know that a single cloud can weigh around 1 million tons? That's about the same as 100 elephants.
Not just cotton candy in the sky, you're telling me. That's what keeps Earth in our orbit, is the weight of the clouds. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, Cloudy.